Hey Crocheters, welcome to another Friday night. If you watched the video that came out today, you already know what we're doing tonight. It's a stitch that is super well known. Lots of people use this stitch as their like go-to stitch. It's another one of those like the granny square that's just really common, really fun, and everybody's kind of aware of it. But we have so many new crocheters in here, and that's kind of the concept of this page, is getting everybody crocheting. So it's definitely deserves a spot on the top 100 stitches that we're going to learn. So let's jump right in. Tonight I'm using one of my ergonomic handle needles. This is an F, so the needle size is F, and I've got my new handle on it, and so that's the needle that I will be using. The yarn that I'm using, just a mainstay medium worsted regular everyday yarn. So you can use your Red Heart, you can use your I Love This yarn, you can use any of your sport yarns that are number 3s, anything like that will work. Also, if I'm using the F, but you know, if you have the H or the G from class or even the I, it totally works. So any needle, any yarn, this is something that's very versatile. So no worries there. It's called the Waffle Stitch because it actually looks like a waffle. So who doesn't love waffles? I mean, come on. You can put any topping on them, and syrup's always amazing. So let's make some waffles tonight, all right? We made cupcakes a couple months ago. Now we're gonna make some waffles. Alrighty. So when you're starting out, you're gonna chain into a multiple of 3. Make sure you always have a multiple of 3. For our quilting squares that I'm doing, because I'm gonna make 100 quilt squares of the 100 stitches and then put them all together and make a blanket of our journey. If you're doing that with us, I typically like to use around 20 stitches or so depending on the stitch. So in this stitch of the waffle, you're going to want a multiple of 3. So in order to do that, do 24 if you're doing the quilt square that we're doing. So there's my 24 stitches. Then the first thing you're going to do is get your setup row made. So some of these stitches need a setup row. Sometimes it's a single crochet setup row. Most often that's what it is. This one tonight needs a double crochet setup row. So do your multiple of 3 chain, turn around, skip the first 3, go in that 4th one from your chain, and double crochet back across. Because remember, this chain 3 on the end counts as your first double crochet. So double crochet back across the row, and you're ready to set up with us to start the waffle. Now let's thread our needle and get our hoop to the right size here. First thing you're going to do, we're ready to turn. So we're going to turn and we're going to chain 3 for that first double crochet. I can get my thread on there. So we're going to chain our 3 because we're ready to have our first double crochet right there. Now, in the waffle, you're going to do a pattern, and it's the same pattern all the way through, all the way to the end. Doesn't change. This is what we're going to do. It's a combination of 2 rows, okay? So row 1, we turn and we chain 3, and the pattern that we're going to repeat is 2 front post double crochets, 1 double crochet. So in the next stitch, we're going to front post double crochet. So remember, that's a yarn over. You're going to go around the entire stitch on the bottom, around the entire stitch through the front of it, and pull it back through. Then like a normal double crochet, just pull through 2, pull through 2. You do that again in the next stitch, a front post double crochet. So yarn over, go around the post of that previous stitch, yarn over 2 and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Now you see, since those first 2 stitches are a front post stitch from the row previous, now you see why we need the double crochet setup row. Because if you don't have the setup row of double crochet and you just have your chain, you don't have anything to front post around. So that's why you do the setup row. Now we're just going to do a normal double crochet in the 3rd stitch. And that's your repeat. So now we're ready to front post. So in this next stitch, we front post, pull through 2 hoops, pull through 2 hoops. We front post again in the next stitch, pull through 2 hoops, pull through 2 hoops, and then we just do a normal double crochet like regular into the top of the V, pull through 2, pull through 2. So that's what you're getting. You're kind of getting those every other two are becoming raised up. So we're just going to do it one more time. You're going to go into that front post, double crochet, pull through two, pull through two, again, front post, double crochet, pull through two, pull through two. Then in this one here, just a regular double crochet under the V, just like normal. Okay, go ahead and finish out your row, and I'll join you back at the end for row 2. Okay, so we are back, and we should have had our first row finished. That's what it's kind of looking like for you. You've made it to the end. Always make sure on the end you end in a double crochet that's normal, because that's going to be your ending seam right there. You want to make sure your edges stay straight. So we're ready to turn around, and if you've ever seen a waffle and you flip your thing around, you're going to notice that it's starting to form the waffle pattern. For those of you that haven't seen it, you can kind of see where this is going. When it was facing you before you turned it, it just looks like some raised bars going up. But when you turn it around, you can kind of see what's happening here. So we're ready for the second part of the repeat. You're going to turn and chain your 3 just like normal. That counts as your first double crochet to start the row. Now, you're going to do kind of the opposite of what you did on the first row. You're going to do front post double crochet, 2 regular double crochets. An easy way to remember this, because you don't have to remember what you're doing ever again after this, is follow what you just did. If it's a raised front post right here, then you're front posting. If it's flat like this, you're regular crocheting. So all you have to do is look at what you did the previous row and just repeat it. So right here we have a regular double crochet. So we're going to regular double crochet right here. We have a raised one right here. So this is a front post double crochet. We have 2 normal double crochets because they're not raised. So just go in the V just like normal and put 2 double crochets in those next 2 V's. Just like that. You've got a raised one. So you're going to do a front post into this one. You've got 2 flat ones. These are just regular into the V double crochets. 1 there. And then in the next stitch again, 1 there. So as you can see, instead of doing 2 front posts and then a double, we're doing 2 regular doubles and a front post. So we flipped it. But you don't have to remember that because you're just going to follow along and match what you did before. So here we are again with the front post because it's a raised one. We've got 2 flat regular ones, so 2 regular double crochets. I'm going to let you continue down to the end of the row, and then we'll turn around. Okay, so we're finished with row number 2, and we've done our double crochet on the end. We're ready to turn around, so here's what it would look like. You've got some squares that look more like squares. You've got your waffle pattern kind of forming. We're going to turn, and this time we're repeating what we did down here on the second row. Would have been the first row of the waffle, the second row of our piece. So we do our chain 3 on our corner, on our end. That counts as our end stitch. Notice we're the opposite now, okay? So we've got a regular double crochet right here, but then we've got a front post. So front post right here because it's sticking out. Then a regular double crochet because it's flat. Then you've got 2 front posts back to back because they're sticking out. See how they're sticking out? You can kind of see there's 2 there, there's 2 there, there's 2 there, and in between there's just a normal hole. So you're doing 2 front posts, double crochet, 2 front posts, double crochet. So there's a front post double crochet. The next one is also a front post double crochet. The next one is a regular double crochet. You can see the V right there, so go into your V, do a regular double crochet there. Then you've got 2 front posts. So on the first row, third row, fifth row, these are all 2 front posts, double crochet. 2 front posts, double crochet. On 2, 4, 6, 8, those rows, it's a double crochet front post. Double crochet front post. But again, you don't have to really pay attention to that if you're watching the line that you did before, because you're just going to watch what you did before and repeat it. So let's get this turned around. There you go. You can see they're all matching up to our rows are getting longer. But when we flip it to the side that shows, look at there. It's making a waffle. It's making waffle squares. So really fun stitch. I will let you know this is a dense stitch. This is a really heavy stitch. I'm going to show you a piece that I just finished with this. So go ahead and finish out this row, and I'll go grab my piece and I'll show you how dense the stitch is. Okay, crocheters, I wanted to show you how dense this piece is when you're making this waffle. It's a very, I don't know that it's a yarn eater. It does take a lot of yarn because it is really like thick. But it's thick because these stitches that stick out on those front posts. So it definitely takes yarn, but I don't know if I'd call it a yarn eater necessarily, but I want you to see how thick and dense it is. So this is a sweatshirt that I have modified. I know you guys have been watching me modify all my clothes and do some different things with them. So I have taken a sweatshirt and I have cut the sleeves off and made waffle sleeves. That sounds funny. Made waffle sleeves out of it. So look at that. See the waffle? It just makes so fun. I think it's so funny that you can make a waffle out of crochet. I thought it was funny we can make cupcakes. I'm pretty sure we can make everything because we can make flowers, stars, spiders, everything. So here we are making waffles. The sleeve is awesome looking. It's awesome on this sweatshirt. There's the cuff of the bottom where your hand would come out, but this is heavy. Look how thick this sleeve is. This is a heavy sweatshirt, okay? I mean, it is really heavy and thick and dense. It's a very warm stitch, and it is going to use some yarn. So when you're thinking about doing something with it, I know a lot of people do heavy winter blankets with it, lap throw blankets with it. It'd be great for a throw pillow. It'd be great for the a blanket to go on the back of your couch. A lot of people put blankets on the back of their couch or like line their lazy boy recliners with a blanket. Great stitch for that. It's a great winter stitch. So keep that in mind when you decide what you want to use it for. That's kind of why I picked a sweatshirt to use it on, because it's just an amazing stitch. I did use my new ergonomic handle. I love it. You can kind of tell that my hands are getting torn up from handcrafting the needles over there, but the new needles are working well. I hope you guys enjoy the waffle stitch and do something really fun with it. Post your pictures and stuff in the comments. Let us know what you end up doing with it. That's it for tonight's 100 stitches on 100 Fridays, and I will see you guys back next week for the next stitch. Happy crocheting and have a great weekend. Stay warm.